Alright, so I have a confession to make. Off camera, I unbolted the rear end out of it just because I wanted to see what it looked like less sitting down before I'd done anything. And this is what we got. So our last video, you seen how I built the spindles, and then the video before that we moved the axle up in the frame. So we've stripped down this cub, and now I'm going to work on lowering the rear end. And obviously I got ahead of myself and I pulled the rear end out off camera because I wanted to set it down on some wood and get the right height, because we was still like way up here. And so that is about where I want to end up. And where that wood is underneath of these two tabs welded on the side is where the axle mounted. And then these supports right here bolted up in the frame, and these holes here to support the axle underneath the frame. And so biggest thing I'm going to do today is I've got this is the original pulley. It was an 8-inch. This is a 4-inch pulley. This should make the mower go 10 miles an hour. And so that should, I'm going to turn it upside down because I know that is not, this keyway is going to be in the way and that set screw is not out. But that should set down on there about like that. So I probably have to flip that when I undo the set screw on it. And so the next thing is well, how are we going to get the belt? Great, now I can't get it off. Awesome, good job me, there we go. So how are we going to get the belt where it needs to be? And how are we going to keep this pulley from being up in the floor where we want it to be at to get the right ride height and everything? And the quick answer to that is I'm going to flip the rear end upside down. And that's how we're going to do it. Now you have to not just flip it upside down, but you got to spin it around too for it to drive the right direction once you get the belt on there. So let's work on what we're going to have to do to get everything back here to do what we needed to do. Yeah. Okay, update time. So I've decided this is a piece off some sort of bracket work that Dad had sitting outside that he'd cut up. And so I use that piece just to look. I'm going to cut the pieces I'm going to use out of the other piece of bracket that Dad had sitting out there. I have taken the original axle brackets and I've cut a channel in them. And I've also cut down to make sure I had plenty of clearance part of the housing here. And I realized this was for strength for across through here, kind of like a truss. But I had to do that to make sure I had plenty of clearance there. And I didn't want it to sit on that, so I wanted to make sure I had gap between them. I said I've got both pieces sitting where I'm going to be able to put that tube on top of this. And I'm going to weld that tube alongside the side of this frame and come back here and drill 2 holes in it to fit those. And then I can reattach my brackets underneath. Sorry, let me get around here so you can see. Reattach my brackets underneath back to the framework here. And that way we've got everything kind of mounted where it needs to go, keeping this right here flat for the mounting surface for the body. So, and this will be flat coming back through here. It'll just make this area wider here, and it'll be a little bit wider than this coming back through, but not much. So let me get this cleaned off. I'm gonna clean the paint off this so I can weld to it. I'm gonna get those pieces cut over there off that bracket, get some holes drilled in them, and then we'll see about plating everything down here. All right, so let me show you what I got now. That's right, it's done. Wasn't much to it really. I've got to cap the back ends of these off, but I don't know what I'm gonna build back here yet, so I kind of held off on that. And right now I need to weld the underneath side of this on both sides. Sorry, get where you guys can see. make sure I'm looking where I'm talking. The underneath side of this still needs welded. I've welded down through here and welded down through there and welded the tops. Now, I ground the tops down because I want this to be a flat surface because we're mounting the wheelbarrow body to it and whatever else. So I didn't ground that down. See, look at that. See, I know how to weld. Now, don't look at that one. But so the next thing is I took the brackets off here, and I'm gonna have to make a bracket that comes down, and I'm actually gonna bolt to the original place where the axle met. And when I do that, I have got to figure out what to do in here. Now I want to have another cross member across through here just to help hold the frame sturdy, but I also need to have a jack shaft in here. Okay, and for those of you who don't know what a jack shaft is, now that I've flipped the rear end upside down, the pulley is on the bottom now, so it's down here somewhere, and then the original belt system should be up here. Plus I've moved back and I don't want to go to a longer belt, so I want to put a jack shaft in here where the top pulley will be the original height, the bottom pulley will be the new height, and it will be tied together on a shaft. That way when it turns, it'll turn the bottom pulley. Then I'll have a secondary belt from the bottom pulley to the rear end with the tensioner. So I guess my next step is flipping the frame over, make sure that's good and bolted down, and then I'm going to look at the bottom side to see where my measurements are. And then the cool part about that is this over here is all some pulleys and spindle parts left over with bearings that I used off the deck that I pulled off this mower, or one of the mowers. So these bearings are still good, and so I'm going to use this right here and these pulleys to make my jack shaft, so we'll get into that. So I have a confession to make. I'm kind of making this up as I go. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know you guys are real surprised. However, I made something cool. So that right there is a piece of angle iron. This is one of the original brackets that held the rear end, and that's just a piece of metal that I cut. I took those three things and made this. I gotta make one for the other side, so I got all my pieces laid out. And so where this goes is this goes right there, where it slides onto the bottom two bolts for the rear end, just like that. And then over here lines up with that hole there, which is, if you look at the one below it right here, there's a nut there and it's threaded. One of these go in it. And then that bolt right there goes in right there, like so. Let me get that swung around there where you can see. So that right there will actually sandwich the rear end in there and keep everything put. And by the way, I had to flip this rear end around because I got to studying about how it turns, and this direction here is how it's going to turn. And notice that's how it's going to drive forward, because I had it the way it was turned, it drove like this, and as you notice, that's reverse. So, and that's how the new pulley mounts up there. And I may try and find me a little nut to put, there's not much threads there, but you know, try and just make sure it stays on there. And I'll probably put a guard over this, like a skid plate, that way you don't drag this on stuff. And so now with those brackets there, I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one, and that'll solidify the rear end into the lawnmower, and then we'll move on to jack shaft and whatever else after that. If I can finish that piece up right there, then that'll complete supporting this rear end in here and by these, tightening everything down. And look, we got a little bee right there. You see him flying? But anyways, and that will not only allow us, and I welded this right here while I had it flipped up, and I haven't done the other side, but I'll do it when I flip it over the other way. And so that'll actually get us hold of here and here, and really make this whole back section stout, with the exceptions of I need a cross member in there, which I may use a cross member right here where the old axle plates was, and make me a plate that goes across there and holds my jack shaft. I don't know, I gotta figure that out. That'll be another video. But let me get this other piece made, we'll get it all bolted up and set it down, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I messed up. Good news is I fixed it. So let me show you where I messed up at. So as you may notice, the rear end is not the same way it was. It's turned around. and I had to cut my brackets off there and relocate them up here where they could mount to. The main reason for that is because if you look here, when I tested the starter on the motor turns clockwise from the top, which means the pulley on the bottom is going to turn clockwise from the top, go back, and that'll turn the next pulley on the jack shaft be clockwise from the top, and bottom's clockwise from the top, and that shaft underneath the pulley, or underneath the rear end, you see it there, I've got some marks on it. When I roll it forward, the pulley's turning that direction there, which means if you look at it from the top, it is turning clockwise. Before it was turning counterclockwise to go forward. So that would have been bad. I would have had 6 reverses. Not good. So I've got it turned around and everything's good now. So it is pretty sturdy. I'm every bit of 240 with my boots on. So, but that is the ride height. The rear end is mounted. It is lowered. We'll have to do some stuff with linkages and all that good stuff later, and some more supports for different odd reasons, but the rear end is lowered. So if you like what I'm doing here with this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give me a like. If you like what I'm doing on other stuff, give me a like on those videos and subscribe to the channel for those. We're going to probably work on the jack shaft next video and get the drive completely finished, and then work on linkages for brakes and clutch, and then we'll do a gas pedal and the body and the steering, and there's a lot of stuff left to go on this one, but we'll see you guys on the next one.